43 and a half weeks. What does that mean? So I have been 10 months on strict carnivore, which is 43 and a half weeks that I have been on carnivore. You could have told me this a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I would have thought you were absolutely crazy. I would have thought there is no way in the world that a human being can feel this good at the age of 50 by eating only the foods that God created for us. So I have two things that has started. One, 43 weeks since I've been on carnivore and 21 weeks since I found God. And I don't think I could have had one without the other. Why do I say that? I couldn't have been as clear today. I couldn't have understood or found that the foods that we are consuming that we think is making us healthy has actually been making me sick. I thought that I was just getting older. I thought my mental clarity was, I didn't even realize that I didn't have the mental clarity. I was tired all the time, didn't feel good on the inside. Listen, I found a glitch in the matrix, and there's a whole community out there that has discovered this. So let me tell you why. Backwards 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I worked out for decades. I worked out 5-6 days a week, and I thought I was one of the healthiest people there was. Zero fat intake, good amount of chicken, rice, oatmeal, Splenda, protein powder, protein bars, the things that we are taught that is healthy. I would have red wine on the weekends, again, thinking that was heart healthy. And again, worked out 5, sometimes 6 days a week, gaining as much muscle as I could over the last 2 decades. People would stop me at the gym and ask me, hey, what do you do to look so fit? And I thought I figured it out. One Saturday, a year and a half ago, I was at the gym. I was actually at the gym working out midday, about noon, and doing curls in front of the mirror. And I started not to feel so well. It's like, that's weird. Why don't I feel well? I felt like my chest was hurting. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go do cardio instead. Jumped on a bike, stationary, started doing some cardio. Still didn't feel well. It's like, you know what? I'm going to call it for the day. Drove home. It continued to get worse. I'm thinking, am I having a heart attack? And it got worse. And I think, I am having a heart attack. No one was at home. I called 911. The great people from the ambulance came. They helped me or hooked up an EKG to me and goes, you are having a massive heart attack. There's no way. How am I having a heart attack? So I went, took me to the hospital. The next thing I know, the doctor is shaking my hand, going, you're going to make it. It's like, going to make it? What do you mean going to make it? He goes, yeah, you're going to make it. You should be dead right now. You should absolutely be dead. You have 2 blocked arteries in your heart. Your widowmaker is 100%, called widowmaker for a reason. And we were able to clear it in time for you to survive. This can't be happening. I just was at the gym an hour ago. I don't understand. How could this happen to me? So I'm in intensive care for about a week. My heart was severely damaged at the time. I didn't know anything about echocardiograms, heart scarring, recovering, ejection fraction, things that really, a lot of medical terms that I had no clue about. And the whole time I'm in intensive care recovering as my heart isn't squeezing the way that it should. Happens many times after a heart attack. That I'm asking, like, how did this happen? How did I have heart disease? And, no one told me. I had 2 different doctors I was seeing. I was seeing a longevity doctor, and I was seeing, my general practitioner. No issues, no concerns. Keep doing what you're doing. My blood pressure started to go up slightly, and my general practitioner wanted to put me on blood pressure medicine. I was like, no, listen, I work out a lot, right? I work out 5-6 days a week. There's something, what could cause that? So my thought was, I remember telling my wife, I'm going to stop eating so much red meat. I didn't eat a lot of red meat, but I thought I would just eliminate the red meat completely and just eat fish and chicken and never had red meat, and that would help me. And this is after I reduced my amount of red meat. So I'm asking the doctors, again, that was seeing me. One, thank God to the doctors that saved my life. I couldn't be more thankful for them. I wouldn't be here today if they weren't there, that they do have and the means to have saved my life. But when asking, how did this happen to me? No one could give me an answer. They would tell me it's hereditary. They would tell me, it just happens. It doesn't just happen. There's got to be a reason. So it took me down a lot of rabbit holes. Like, what causes heart disease? I didn't realize that 1 in 3 people have heart disease. 1 in 3. 18 million people will die this year from heart disease. It kills more people than all cancers combined. I had no clue that It was that you hear about heart disease being a big issue, but you really don't, you hear it being a number one killer, but you really don't understand that most people find out they have heart diseases when they're dead, and the other half or less live. I'm one of the ones that lived through it. Fast forward, I'm recovering. I'm trying to get through, I'm trying to be able to walk again because I couldn't walk really at all. And then all of a sudden, I can't even walk. So I'm recovering. I started doing research about what could possibly help me. I'm trying to find out what causes heart disease because I thought I was doing everything right by the book. So I found stem cells. Stem cells could possibly help you recover, help your heart function and other things, really anything that happens to you. And I started doing some research on different places to have stem cell treatment done, which is really confusing that you couldn't really do it in the States. You can do it in the States, but they don't give the municipal stem cells or the quantity that you need to recover. And so I found research Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico, and I landed on Mexico to go and have stem cell treatment done. And while I was there, I went to Tijuana, Mexico. It's a place called CPI. It's an incredible place, top notch, great people, great institution. They're there for healing and there for helping. There was probably 25, 30 people there getting stem cells, which they said cycle through every single week because this type of assistance isn't available in the States, which is crazy. You think the United States, we should absolutely have something like this available, but it wasn't. So I had the stem cell treatment done. And, while I was there for 2 weeks, I was still searching as why. Why did I have heart disease? I didn't know. No one told me that it was even possible for me to have it while I was doing everything the right way. Found 2 books while I was in Mexico that I read. I was there for 2 weeks, so I had a little bit of time on my hand. One was called The Unholy Trinity. So eye-opening, absolutely eye-opening. His name was Daniel Trevor. I thought being low-fat, healthy carbs, lean meats was the way to go. He also discovered this, had a heart attack, same issues. And come to find out, the Unholy Trinity discusses what foods are really healthy for you and what isn't healthy for you. Read another book called Stay Off My Operating Table by Dr. Ovadia. Absolutely amazing book. I would highly recommend you to read either of those books. They're absolutely incredible. Will absolutely open your eyes to what is happening today. So as I read through the books, and I was trying again, it really hit home with me that this is the answer. Could be the answer, let's say. And doing everything opposite of what I have been doing. At the end of the book, Dr. Ovadia's team says, hey, if you can't find a cardiologist that can help with you or look at the things that we do, give my office a call. Meantime, I started to notice different YouTubers or different communities about the carnivore. It helps your body heal and recover from years of processed foods, years of carbs that you think is real, diet sodas, Splenda, the things that we continue to push in our bodies that makes us pre-diabetic. Millions and millions of people are pre-diabetic today, which causes so much metabolic issues and makes you become metabolically unhealthy, as I was. Continue to research these videos, discovering this carnivore community, and I am still not recovering very well. I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. So August of last year, I'm going to just try it. Let's just give it, a month. I'll try just straight red meat, eggs, bacon, which I haven't ate in decades. Give it a shot, see what happens. I also reached out to Dr. Ovadia. They absolutely said, yes, we'll absolutely see you. Let's get some blood work started and let's see where you're at. While I start this carnivore, I also have blood work done, sent it to Dr. Ovadia's team, a huge metabolic panel that I completed. I start on this carnivore journey. 3 weeks in, I start feeling really good. Like, amazingly well. I didn't know, it's like, maybe it's the stem cells, possibly. Not sure why I'm feeling as good as I am. But I start becoming very clear, mentally clear. Energy level starts to go way up. My sleep suddenly improves massively. My blood work comes back. And again, this is right. I did blood work right as I started carnivore. And my cholesterol was way higher than normal, which was, I emailed the Ovadia team and they're like, I finally had my first meeting with them. And they're like, you're pre-diabetic. And I'm like, pre-diabetic? There's no way. I eat this way and I work out this much. And yeah, here's the reason why. And they walked me through my triglycerides, my HDL, different biomarkers that show that I'm pre-diabetic and insulin resistant. I had no clue, which is what Daniel Trevor and others in the community says causes heart disease. And again, I had no clue. My doctor, then I hired him, obviously. I've been seeing him since. Says carnivore is absolutely the way to go. He looked at things completely different than any other doctor or or the conventional medicine said. I continued down a journey. So after doctor told me that I was pre-diabetic and that I needed to continue eating carnivore, which is clean food, I felt that God was pulling me this way. He was wanting me to discover how a human is supposed to feel, how we used to feel, 20, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, in the 1800s, in the 1700s, etc. And as I continued with strict carnivore, I become so clear. My energy level increased so much. I started to want to do the things that I lost the will or want to. The reason I was seeing a longevity doctor is because I thought that, as I was getting older, I wanted to stay super healthy. I know my sleep got worse. My energy level got worse. I'd have to take pre-workout to be able to work out good for the 5 days a week. The big caffeine boost that would get me all motivated and excited for an hour and then crash. But I started to feel better than ever, more clear than ever. And I started to think about the foods that I used to eat over the last 2 decades and how I was poisoning myself, and how me being on strict carnivore, increasing my fat intake, increasing the foods that God made for us, things that we were told that would give you heart disease. But I got heart disease not eating them massively. So I eat eggs, bacon with butter, steaks, fatty ground beef, and I couldn't feel better. I sleep better than I ever have. I'm clearer than I have been in probably 30 years. And I started to, again, reason why I'm even having this conversation or even going, I feel that God is having me to discover how we're supposed to feel and how we become so disconnected from the Spirit of God because of the foods that we have been eating. You have no clue that you're not clear. You're not thinking very clear. You're not sleeping very well. Things that used to motivate you have went away, and you're being told it's because you're getting older. Think about in the 1900s, how the massive expansion of the United States happened and across the world. And, they didn't have any gyms. There was no obese people. There was no major diseases like we have today, but they say the life expectancy was short. As you go down these rabbit holes, you'll see that it's because of the infant mortality rate, which we've done a great job of correcting that. But think about our presidents back in them. John Adams lived to be in the 90s. Most of our presidents lived to be in the late 70s and 80s. And this was before having great medicine that we have today. But they ate real food. And they had a drive. They had a drive to go across the nation and build things, giant industries, feeding the world, landing on the moon, having so much energy. And today, no one feels like even getting out of bed. No one feels like getting off of, go through social media and that's it. Again, without having the clarity that I have today, without discovering the food, again, going on just the foods that God gave us, I would not have found God again. This opened me up to understand and be closer. My spirit is closer to God today because I'm able to hear Him again. So, started going to church again, started reading the Bible in depth, started to really find myself again and have the will and want to do so many things. I want to be able to do things I used to when I was younger. I want to be able to go massive hiking. I want to go snowboarding again. I want to go race motorcycles again. At the age of 50, I want to go do things that I thought was well past my time, just because, I was metabolically unhealthy. But by me clearing these chemicals out of my body, by me getting, no longer pre-diabetic and healing, letting my body heal itself the way it's designed. The way it's designed. You break a bone, doctors don't really fix it. They may set it, cast on, but it heals itself. You get a cut, you put a Band-Aid on. It heals itself. We may remove something out to help your body heal itself. Body heals itself as long as you're giving it the right foods. So this is no different. You're not as metabolically healthy, so you're not clear, not sleeping well, you're extremely tired. You've lost the want to do things. It's because of the foods that you're eating. Once you eliminate those and you put back in foods that God gave for us, you will feel like doing things that you used to do. Your want and drive and desire to do things that you used to will come back alive. God has shown these two things to me. Again, it's been 43 weeks since I found carnivore. It's been 21 weeks since that led me to finding God again and hearing God. So I am going to do my part. Get this out as much as possible. Many people, as I talked about this now, think that I'm crazy and think that you're going to die because of what you're eating. Actually, what I was eating before, being brainwashed, think that was healthy, and it wasn't God's food. I see very clearly now. So I have more energy than I haven't had in 30 years. I am so excited to live again today. Again, conquer the world. I'm so excited to go out and do things that used to. So a few things are going to happen, right? I'm going to continue putting the word out every day. I'm going to show I travel a lot. I catch flights to different cities every week. Now I pack my own food. I'm going to show how I do that. I am going to open up and try to find many people to connect with from this who is carnivore curious and hopefully help them to heal their bodies. Just getting on the right foods and discovering and finding God. He's wanting us there. We can't hear him because of how unhealthy we are today because of the poisons that we're eating, which is crazy. Again, I am going to try find some people to interview. I want to interview as many people as I possibly can to help get the word out how it has healed. There is hundreds of thousands of people that have found God's foods and it's completely cured them of many diseases. And it's time for us to share and get this word out to many people as possible, including your family and friends. You could save someone's life just like it saved mine. So a lot more to come. Super, super excited about this, but we found a glitch in the matrix. Where can you find me? You can find me on X at Prayers and Protein, or you can message me here. Again, I want to find as many people as I possibly can that has already found the benefits of this miracle of just red meat, eggs, and bacon. Absolutely incredible. Please reach out to me on X or please message me here. Would love to connect with many and love to speak to many people as possible. God bless.